Remember that time you were obsessed with child wizards?
Today we are talking about the first 3 Harry Potter films. For those of you who don't know, first of all, I don't know why you're watching this video. They are Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And for those of you who didn't know prior to, now you do know, and stop this video and just go watch those because, you know, hashtag spoiler alert.
Does anyone do a better score than John Williams? Like, really?
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is the first Harry Potter film, and honestly, one of my faves. It's your intro to the film series.
I had the British versions of these books growing up, so I was very shocked when I saw the first movie and it was not the Philosopher's Stone.
It is probably one of the more faithful recreations of book to film, but that's simply because the book was so much shorter. So you had the opportunity to do that. When you get things like Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban on, there's just too much content. It's gonna be difficult enough for film writers to fit in the chapters of books that they have. So the fact that they're even able to get slightly close with Sorcerer's Stone is a kudos to you.
My name is Harry Potter, and I have never felt more alive in my life.
Briefly describe the plot. Okay, we begin our story on a dark night as the lightning bolts Scar. They make him live under the cupboard. Hey everybody, it's me, Hagrid. And everyone's like, you're a giant, that's a scary. You're a wizard, Harry. What? Curious that you should be destined for this one when its brother gave you that scar. 9 3/4, you think you're being funny, do ya? Hey, I'm Ron Weasley. And he's like, I'm Harry Potter. And then they buy a bunch of candy. Please not Slytherin, please not Slytherin. Gryffindor! Bro, in the dungeon! What? The troll! Figured out that it's the Sorcerer's Stone. Who could want that? Right, it's probably Severus Snape because he is shady. He's got dark greasy hair, he's bleeding a lot, fluffy, scary plant, a flying keys chest. Stuttering Professor Quirrell is the one that's been helping out Voldemort the whole time. Let me speak to him. Voldemort's face in the back of his head. Voldemort's gone again, but I bet it won't be the last time. Feels weird, right, to be going home? And Harry says, I'm not going home, not really. And scene.
Wow! See me, feel me.
Well, right off the bat, I remember really connecting with Hermione. And this is a little more like also from reading the books, but I was, you know, a young girl at the time, and I hadn't really had a lot of fictional characters where it was like just this really smart girl. Like, she was the smartest one.
But she was also had her girly tendencies, like when she gets all dressed up, and she was like praised for being smart and not made fun of for being smart for the most part. But then she was also a very desirable character. So she was like one of the first characters when I was little as a girl looking like, oh, it's cool to be smart. It's okay to be smart and brainy, but you can also be all these other things. And you can also keep up with the boys.
Because she's absolutely a stellar role model for girls, and you don't always find that, unfortunately. So it's really awesome that Hermione was that for me when I was young, and I know for a lot of other people she has been that. So Hermione was definitely always my favorite character in Sorcerer's Stone.
What is my Hogwarts house?
I am a Gryffindor, but what I'm confused by is it seems like Gryffindors are just like good people. Why doesn't everyone want to be a Gryffindor?
I want to remind everyone that not every Slytherin is evil. I understand that most of the I understand that the bad witches are from Slytherin, but that doesn't mean every Slytherin is evil.
My Hogwarts house is Slytherin. I do think it fits. Growing up, I always thought I was a Gryffindor.
As soon as I took like the first quiz that you could take and it said Hufflepuff, I'm like, yeah, okay, that fits. Because I definitely wouldn't want to be a Gryffindor. I am married to a Gryffindor, and they're not the best.
And you can't win them all. I was sorted into Gryffindor. I've always been sorted into Gryffindor.
A Hufflepuff. We're like super nice. We're not really winning at all the bravery. We're like smart, but not like Ravenclaw smart. And then the word puff is in it, which I don't know, somehow suits me in some ways. I feel a little puffy.
Is there something I'm missing about Slytherin that my friends who are sweet and kind want to be not nice people who are only out for themselves and are desperate for fame.
I look really good in green because I have red hair.
Oh, what am I drinking? Gryffindor tears.
I don't understand.
Salty.
Was expelled. She needs to sort out her priorities.
The next chapter of Harry Potter.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is a movie that I've yet to see. So we're saving me for later on when I do watch the film. And then I'll tell you all about what I think. But until then, here are my friends.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is the second movie / book in the Harry Potter series.
And it gets crazy. Like, I thought 7th grade was hard for me because everyone just made fun of me all the time, but it's way harder if you're Harry Potter.
Things get real snaky.
Boo!
And I mean that literally.
I think this one falls pretty low on my list of the films and books, honestly. It's probably my least favorite book and my second to least favorite movie.
This one was one of my favorites when I was younger. Not my absolute favorite, but probably my favorite of the 3 that we're talking about today, which is out of pocket because everybody goes hard for Prisoner of Azkaban. But I really like Chamber of Secrets.
The plot of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is as follows.
Who is your favorite character in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets?
Snape gets elevated to the top 3 in this one because he stuns the nonsense out of that pompous doofus Gilderoy Lockhart.
Gilderoy Lockhart.
And that is your winner in my book.
Gilderoy Lockhart
Gilderoy Lockhart
is the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher in the second book, and he is basically a phony. He has like built his reputation on doing all of this stuff in the wizarding world and being this incredible wizard, but really he is a fake.
He's a terrible human being, but he is so funny and he's such an enjoyable, delightful, hilarious character. So I love Lockhart.
Gilderoy Lockhart.
Because he's just fun to watch. I love Dobby.
Dobby is a free elf.
I love book Dobby even more than movie Dobby, but Dobby is a very important character and I love that we meet him here.
Dobby is like...
Dobby!
Mrs. Weasley. She's nailing. I think she's hilarious. I love her. She's a no-nonsense lady. Like, I feel like if me and Mrs. Weasley were like killing time at the playground, we could hang out. Like, and then I'd be like, do you want to get a glass of wine?
What do I think of Tom Riddle? I think he's emo. I think he has like mommy and daddy issues. He's toxic in all the ways that I would try to date.
I know that Quincy has a lot of opinions on Tom Riddle.
Yes, Tom Riddle is so much better in Chamber of Secrets than in the later movies. This is like one of my biggest pet peeves is that Tom Riddle, I know they had to change the actor because he was just too old, but they didn't even really go in the same vein. In the actual books, he's like this charismatic, like super cool. I mean, he's a little like, he's a psychopath still, but like he's charismatic and cool. And I think that they did that in Chamber of Secrets. And like, that guy was a lot more what I imagined Voldemort to be like before he became all, you know?
Who hasn't tried to split their soul so they can live on forever? I think we've all tried that, okay?
Do I think I could fight the basilisk?
Oh my lord, could I fight a basilisk? No. Listen, if a basilisk is coming for me, I just need you to make sure that you call the next of kin, okay?
I didn't come here to Hogwarts to fight a giant snake. I came here to learn, and this is ridiculous.
Are you? Anybody who says they could is arrogant, beyond the point of contempt.
Yeah, I do. I feel good that I could. You know what I mean? I think in the it's fight or flight, right? What am I gonna do, just lay down and let it murder me? Probably not. First of all, I wouldn't want to murder me because I'm a Slytherin, so it'd be like, I got you, don't worry about it. Oh, I forgot a key plot point. Can we edit this in if we need to? Okay, so then they figure out the Polyjuice potion. They're gonna turn into Crabbe and Goyle, and Hermione's supposed to turn into Melissa. But it turns out here,
Laugh if you will, Mr. Finnegan. See what you make of them. No!
Who is that? That man?
He's a murderer.
So Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is the third movie, and stuff starts to turn in this one. It's like it got dark a couple times before, but when you get to movie 3, you're like...
This is probably both one of the most popular and one of the most divisive movies from the Harry Potter franchise for book fans, because it is a very well done movie, but it leaves out some very pivotal parts.
This is my favorite of the books, no questions asked. I love this one, but this is not my favorite movie because while I like the direction of Alfonso Cuarón, it's a lot more artistic, it's more of like a loose interpretation of the story. They leave out a lot of the plot of this one.
That if you aren't familiar with the more nuanced aspects of the books, then you're probably gonna miss the more nuanced aspects of the films.
I actually have real issues when media dabbles with time travel. I think that there is exactly one time that it's been done well.
Basically, in this movie, Harry thinks he's being hunted by Sirius Black, who is an escaped prisoner from Azkaban, and just happens to be his godfather.
He's been framed, and the person who actually did the crime that he's trying to clear his name of is hiding in rat form. And also one of the new teachers is a werewolf.
The Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher is a werewolf, and he's going all crazy.
Whatever lady in HR is in charge of hiring people, because apparently Dumbledore is like delegating this to someone else because there's no way he keeps getting it this wrong.
And then there's time travel.
Okay, we gotta talk about this. There is a quote in this movie that is not in the books, but it is slapped onto coffee mugs and pillowcases and t-shirts and wall art.
So this is one of the most famous Harry Potter quotes, which is a Dumbledore quote, because he is soups wise.
This, in fact, is probably the best quote.
There's gonna be a lot of people who are doing that Dumbledore quote.
And it drives me insane.
Happiness can be found
in the darkest of times.
If one only remembers to turn on the light.
It's not in the books. Read the books. Point it out to me. Highlight it. Underline it.
Dumbledore says enough brilliant things in the books.
Guess what? Did you go look for it? You didn't find it? Because you can't. Because it's not there.
I'm drinking out of a spew mug, which is a book reference. So I'm gonna let that speak for me.
You got a time turner. I have a time turner. What would you use it for? I wouldn't. I would not use a time turner because that's so untrue. I was about to say the amount of room for error with time travel is high, and that's true, but I still totally would time travel if given the option.
You should not use time turners. If the world of cinema has taught me anything, it is that time travel is not a good idea.
I have to work my job. So I'd do that. And then I'd go back and, I don't know, play video games, read books, watch TV shows I want to watch, go on a run. I'd do lame stuff. I'm a lame-o.
You guys know Spaceship Earth in Epcot? I would just go to all the real life things that the scenes in Spaceship Earth are representing. I feel like that's a good measure of where I would go. It's just like I go and watch the guy in the Papyrus, and then I go see the Library of Alexandria burn, and then I go see the Renaissance. And then I go see the moon landing. Like I think I'd just do Spaceship Earth, but for real, if I had a time turner.
Expecto Patronum!
Harry Potter Trivia Challenge. I feel incredibly confident in a Harry Potter Trivia Challenge.
Listen, I know my Harry Potter trivia, okay? Let's do it. Let's do this.
Bring it on. Asio Trivia Quiz.
How do you cast the full body bind curse? Petrificus Totalis.
Petrificus Totalis.
Petrificus Totalis.
What's the difference between a curse and a spell? Can we get some agreement on that?
Full body bindicus. Body casticus.
A body bind curse?
Petrificus Totalis. Who is Phileas Flitwick? Phileas Flitwick is the charms teacher at Hogwarts for the duration of Harry Potter's time there, and also before.
Phileas Flitwick is the charms professor at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. He is also the head of Ravenclaw House.
Phileas Flitwick is Dumbledore's cousin who sells hand-me-down wands at the Wizard Swap Meet.
Flitwick is a professor at Hogwarts that is played by a little person. And he's like first year spells or something.
Phileas Flitwick is the charms teacher at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
He is the charms professor at Hogwarts, who played Voldemort in the first Harry Potter movie. Not Joseph. Joseph is the one who's in Handmaid's Tale. It's Ralph Fiennes.
There were some different people in the first one from the others that I understand, because they are different in the rides when I go to Universal. And I'm like, wait, that guy is a very famous actor now. He was played by an unknown, the one who looks like Santa Claus, and also like Merlin. But Merlin is different in a Harry Potter world, and I don't know why, and I don't care. I'll probably find out when I watch the other movies. How many of these movies are there? If we're doing a whole episode just on the first 3, I'm scared.
He played himself.
I literally just watched this movie 3 days ago and said the name out loud.
Well, okay, there's multiple times you see Voldemort, so I don't know if I have to name all of the times that you see him, but I can name one time that you see him. I don't know who is under the cloak when you see him in the Forbidden Forest, but I do know that when he's on the back of Quirrell's head, Ian Hart, the actor who played Quirrell, also provided the likeness for Voldemort and the voice for Voldemort when he's on the back of his head.
What? That's not right. It's telling me it was Eddie Izzard.
You're gonna have to try harder than that if you want to stump me. It was John Travolta. Of course. John Travolta.
1,000 points to Slytherin, baby. Yeah, I'm incredibly proud of my success here today at this trivia challenge. I am a nerd, so if you're gonna challenge me in one aspect of my life, this is the one.
I feel like the first 3 Harry Potter movies are some of the best movies in the collection, though number 4 is my favorite.
I am a Harry Potter book fan through and through, so the books are always going to be better than the movies for me.
But I will take any chance to go to Hogwarts, and it's really fun to see the things that I read about as a little kid brought to life before me on the screen.
I am Harry Potter. I live in a room under stairs. And when I feel my heart is sad, no one in my house cares. I am the strange, sad...
Hey everybody, it's Molly, the Harry Potter Trivia Champion. Thanks so much for watching this episode of RTT. Please make sure to like and subscribe, ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. If you want more RTT right now, click over here for a playlist of all of our Harry Potter episodes. And if you want more AllEars, click over here for a video of me doing an ultimate Harry Potter challenge in the wizarding world of Harry Potter. Thanks for watching!